Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 5 Thoughts video. I just finished watching the latest episode of The Clone Wars on Disney+, and I'm just going to share my general thoughts on the episode. In this episode, we see the return of Ahsoka Tano, and we spend pretty much the whole episode with her. Not pretty much, we do spend the whole episode with her and starting to see where she kind of ends up after having left the Jedi Order. So yeah, this one picks up after literally, or at least from the recap and the way we come into the story, seems like literally just after she left the Jedi Council. She's still on the same speeder bike, it at least seems, but her outfit might have changed. That was the part I was a little unclear, because you go right from the refresher on her story and then right into where she is, and I'm like, wait, did she change her costume? Is this supposed to be immediately after that? It would make sense timeline wise, because there's not a whole lot of time in the Star Wars timeline for them to be working with certain characters. So we pick up pretty much what it seems like immediately after her leaving the Jedi Order, and she immediately runs into some car trouble, or speeder bike trouble in this case, and that just is pretty much the thing that just leads to what happens in this episode, which is she's got to repair that bike, and she happened to have landed in front of a mechanic shop, or a repair shop, which is just really lucky, but that happens, the Force. So she meets this mechanic named Trace, who ends up kind of reluctantly helping her, trying to charge her this whole time for her services. And this is kind of introduces the kind of main theme, I guess, of this episode, which is introducing Ahsoka to the idea that not everybody in the Republic necessarily agrees with the Jedi or see the Jedi as the heroes of the war necessarily. And so this episode seems to focus a lot on letting Ahsoka see this, see kind of how the war has affected people who aren't on the upper levels and who are a little bit more of the working class, almost, as it were, kind of equivalent. And so that was kind of an interesting part to this episode. We pretty much spend this whole episode with Trace dealing with her own problems with her sister and stuff like that. So Ahsoka's just trying to be helpful, but she's also kind of learning about this this way of life of people who aren't on the upper levels, who aren't part of the Jedi Order. So she's pretty much, this whole episode is about her kind of learning about that perspective, which I think obviously influences her story going forward, which we already know bits of because she pops up in the Rebels. I just really enjoyed kind of seeing her journey through it. I was hoping to see her do some more kicking ass. She did kick some ass. She kicked a couple. Now I can't remember if they were droids or no, they weren't droids. They were just some big bodyguard thug guys, and she beats a couple of them up with ease. And so that was a fun little bit that we get to see, and we see her use the Force a little bit to save her friend Trace. But I was hoping to see her do some more kicking of ass, but nonetheless, it was a little bit more about her learning, about this path outside of the Jedi Order and where that's going to lead her. So I really enjoyed this episode, even though it did feel very brief and didn't feel like the whole lot happened. And it's because it was interesting that we spent so much time with Trace's character, and it does seem like we're not going to see her character again, but going forward we'll find out. That's pretty much all my thoughts on the latest episode of the Clone Wars. Sure, let me know in the comments below what you thought of Ahsoka's return, because she only left for a couple episodes technically, because just the show is what was on pause for so many years. So it does feel like she was gone, when in the reality of the Clone Wars, she didn't really leave. She's just she's been gone for like an episode or 2 or 5. But anyways, what you thought of her return, or what you thought of this episode, and for sure let me know in the comments what you thought about that. But thanks again for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you already, and have a good one.